Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I recently did some videos where I shared my favorite products of 2020. There's one that's only lip products, and then there's one that's everything else. I always have a ton of lip products that I buy throughout the year because that's my favorite makeup item. But I thought it would also be interesting to go through and to share with you my least favorite products. So I'm not a big person for disclaimers. I think it's really obvious that everybody has a different preference, and I will discuss why these products didn't work for me. But just remember, this is my makeup collection and would let me down. These might be great for you. All right, so I'm going to start with concealer. The first concealer that I bought this year that didn't work for me, and this is weird because I saw so many people loved it, was this. This is the Uoma Beauty Woke. I think it's a Stay Woke concealer. And I have the shade White Pearl T1. Now, what I didn't know, and I think I might have liked it a little bit better, I definitely got a shade that was too dark for me. This shade here, it's dark, and when you start blending it out, I feel like it turns just a little bit darker. It just sets darker than it looks in the tube. And this was the lightest shade that they had when I went in store. I think it was like June or July that I picked this up. The other problem I had with this, and this is how I use concealer, this is why this doesn't work for me, is I swipe it on everywhere I need it and then I start blending it in. And this is one of those that it actually, you can see it's turning a little orangey and it's a little bit darker than I need it on my hand. But if I swipe it on everywhere, it sets pretty quickly. And by the time I'm done perfecting one side and I go to blend out the other, oh, I've got a real specific line of right where I plopped it down and the edges dried and I'm trying to blend it out, and then it doesn't work well. So if you like something that kind of is going to dry down and not going to budge, this is going to be great for you. But if you, like me, just kind of swipe on concealer everywhere and then start blending, you can't do that with this. You can't. So part of it was I prefer a different formula. It does last a long time. That's a really like a bonus and a plus for this. But for me, the color was wrong. They didn't have the shade that I needed in store. And I should have returned it and ordered it online, but I didn't find out until after my return window had closed that this came in a lighter shade. So I thought that they didn't make a shade that would suit me. Another one that I bought, I think this one came late August, early July, is from Beauty Pie. And this is their Unbeatable Concealer. This is a really kind of, it's a thicker, creamier concealer. So the Uoma Beauty one is here, and this is the one from Beauty Pie. And I like the way it wore. I really liked the way it wore in the warmer months. But once we hit like early October, when the weather started getting significantly cooler and we'd have bursts of like, 45 degrees, 30 degrees, my skin started, and I don't know whether it was a seasonal change and I wasn't giving it enough hydration, it started to catch like in the corners of my nose, and I would see like it would stick to dry patches. And I didn't have any other concealer in my entire stash that I could wear that would do that. And the other problem I had is even when I was wearing a pore filling primer, I could see it like little dots of it like in those pores, like right across the tops of my cheeks, all across my nose. And it looked like I had little pinpricks of this color and the rest of my skin was a different shade. So it settled into, it separated and clung. I don't know. It was great and then it wasn't. And when it wasn't great, it was obviously really not great. So this was not a good one for me. I tried this year. This is from Makeup Forever, their Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation. I wanted the blurring, I wanted the kind of canceling out all of my pores, and it comes with this little spongy applicator, but when you dig it in the product and you swipe it on, oh, it's so much darker than my skin tone. Now, I know that it comes down to making sure you have matched. Before, I remember playing last year when this like released, I wanted it. It's kind of expensive. It's in like the $40 range. So I have been in Sephora and I have swatched the two lightest shades they have. This is the Y215. They do have one that's more pink leaning that starts with an R, and it's one level lighter than this. And that one was like crazy color on me. This was the one that was the closest, and you can still see it, but it is too dark. It's too dark. And so when I swiped this on, and I remember the time I was like, oh, I'm so excited. I did this, and then I did this, and I had like a streak that was significantly darker than my skin. And then I had to like cake it on everywhere and then blend it down my neck just to get through the day. But it let me down. And I think the reason I am putting this in one of my worst products for this year is because I had such high expectations. And I do so much better when I have just like no or low expectations and something kind of impresses me. And I was like, I thought this was going to be like the end all and be all best powder ever. I can get this to work for me if I take kind of like a fluffy brush and I just kind of lightly tap in here, tap it off, and then just, you know, kind of go over my face. But it's not how I want to wear it. I wanted to wear it like canceling out all my pores and everything, and I can't do that because I look like a crazy person. It's too dark. I wish they had a slightly wider shade range, but I can make it work. I just am not inspired to reach for it. Every time I see it, I kind of feel sad. I did a whole video this year about the L'Oreal Age Perfect line, and some of the things have been huge hits for me. Like their concealer is one of my favorite things from their line. I did try a couple of their pencil products that were not good. The worst one I'm going to say is their brow product. This is their Brow Magnifying Pencil, and it's one of those where it has a spoolie on one end and a pencil on the other, and you're supposed to be able to, you know, draw it on and then blend it out. But with any amount of blending, it's like completely gone. I didn't care for that. And then I would, okay, let's put a little bit more on there. And then as you're trying to blend it out, then it just starts getting smudgy and gray, and it looked like I had put like soot in my brows. It was not good. I did not appreciate this product at all. Another product that I tried that I realized is not the type of liner that I like was their eyeliner. This is their Satin Glide liner. Now, does it glide really smooth? Yes, it does. Does it stay where you put it? No, not really. So it's a little bit of a chubbier pencil, and it glides really beautifully. And it says it's supposed to be water resistant. Now, I always take that with a grain of salt. Here's why. I have a leaky left eye where it constantly is leaking out the corner here, and it dissolves mascara, concealer, powder, eye makeup, like anything I put there. And I, for years now, have stopped wearing liner in general because my leaky left eye, I'm constantly like touching here to like just kind of tears, you know, clean up the tears, or I'll take like a little Q-tip and just kind of do this, but then I'm wiping away product in that area. So when I would line my eyes, I was like, okay, waterproof or water resistant, that's really what I need. This really didn't hold up to my leaky left eye. And when I put it in my waterline, it instantly transferred from the upper waterline to the lower waterline. And then from there, it just kind of went everywhere, and I was crying little dark tears out of the corners of my eyes and out of the insides of my eyes. So it's not a good one for the waterline, but it's especially also not terribly budge proof. Now, I did get it to stay when I did like just above my lash line, and then I set it with a dark brown powder, but I don't want to have to work that hard. I feel like there's a lot of good products in the Age Perfect line. This was terrible, and this was not what I needed it to be. This pencil is from Goss. It's the Essential Kohl eye pencil, and I was hoping for something that stayed exactly where I put it because of my leaky left eye. That I could put it in my waterline and it wouldn't budge. But this, the name should say it all. It's a Kohl pencil. So it's one of those that it's super smudgeable and it never really sets. But if you like a smudgy pencil, you're gonna love this. I like the shade, I just don't reach for it. This was a fail for me because it's not how I wear eyeliner. And there are so many days, like even today, where I'm not wearing any eyeliner because is it going to be exactly where I left it? Am I going to end up with a, you know, kind of a mess later on? Is my leaky left eye going to just destroy everything? I really have pulled back on the eyeliner, and I wanted to love that one because I loved almost everything else Wayne released this year. That was not doing it for me. Everybody loves this. Everybody loves this, and I do not understand why. And the problem I have is with 3 of these duos, every single one of the highlights is too dark for the blush. The blush will work for me, this will not. Okay, fine. And the highlight is like really pretty. And I thought this one would be great, but it looks really pretty and shiny. And then when you turn it to the side and it's not directly in the sun, it looks like a little dark strip here. And it doesn't look light. It's just too dark for me. I guess that's what it comes down to. Now the blush, I like the blush, but halfway through the day, the blush is like, peace out, we're gone. So I can put on like a ton of blush, and I always use the e.l.f. blush brush with all of my blushes. I love this brush. And so I'll pick some up and I'll throw some on, and it doesn't even pick up that much. Like okay, finally got a little bit on there. And then I can apply it, and then literally halfway through the day, if I don't apply more, it's gone. So it's not a bad product. And I think that if you're thinking about it, it's only $3. For the price, it's really good, but sometimes I don't want good for the price. I want just good. So I'm down to just lip products. And these are the things that I bought this year that I had really high hopes for that ended up not working for me for one reason or another. The first one is not one that I specifically purchased. It's one that came in my Beautylish Lucky Bag. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is, the shade is Belle de Soir, but it's her gloss. First of all, it smells terrible. Chemically, and the other problem I have with this, I think the shade is pretty. I like how glossy it is. The problem I have is the strings and pulls. And it looks like one of those Instagram food accounts where you see those big cheese pulls. Oh, I can't. So I wanted to wear it. I would never have paid Charlotte Tilbury prices for this, but it really, really makes me want to reconsider anything that's not a bullet lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. I love her bullet lipsticks, but I've tried a couple of other things, and although it's pretty and the color is nice, I like the applicator in here. I think the packaging is nice. You've got kind of like that more teardrop shape, but who cares about all of that if the product itself smells like a chemically flower underneath your nose all day, and then it starts to collect in the corners and string and pull. I can't. All right. Another product that really let me down that everybody loved is the Maybelline Lifter Glosses. And this is the shade Reef. Now the color is beautiful. And I do like that it's kind of like a chubby doe foot. I don't mind that at all. I think the color is so nice. The gloss itself is really nice, but this tends to settle and collect in the corners, and again gives me that cheese pull look. And this is not a slice of pizza, it's lip gloss, and I want it to stay where I put it and not kind of migrate to the corners and collect. The next product that I really wanted to love and had really high expectations for is from Sydney Grace. It's their lip cream. This is the shade Bailey, and it's kind of a pretty kind of grayish mauve-y nude. And I guess the problem that I had with it is that it made my lips look dead. It's just the shade. It's not my favorite shade. I'm just gonna say it that way. I think that the formula is nice. I did have problems with this kind of going outside of my lip line. I'm trying to get a clean line here for the swatch. And it did kind of feather. I also don't like that. It is moisturizing, it is comfortable. And the swatch that I saw for this shade looked a lot warmer than this, because I don't buy shades like this because I don't prefer shades like that. So part of it is color. A lot of the problems I'm having here is too dark. It's too dark. It didn't work. That is a big deal for me, especially it's hard this year because we can't go into stores and swatch. And with a product like Sydney Grace, you really can't swatch anyway. You have to rely on other people's swatches and accurate photo representations of those swatches. So I think the formula is comfortable. I didn't like that it started to kind of feather outside of my lip line, and the color just didn't do it for me. I didn't choose this product on its own. It came in a set, and it's from Fenty. It's their Stunna lip paint. And this shade here is called Unbuttoned. I know a lot of people love this formula. I don't like liquid lipsticks. It just gets too dry. I have tried so many times to get this lipstick to work for me. It doesn't work for me. It ends up, and my lips are dry anyway, but if I mix it with something else, the formula changes, and then I have it kind of like bleeding out of my lip lines. That's not for me. If I use it on its own, my lips get so dry, and then they start to get really tight, and then I feel like I have little flakes falling off. That is also not for me. I love the bottle. I really like the way the doe foot looks. I think that, it works well. It has kind of like a little round, it almost looks like a little disc. It's flat on the edge. I feel like everything's nice about this. It's just the formula and me do not get along. I am not a liquid lipstick kind of gal. There are very few that work for me. This one is too drying for me. The last one, I had someone recently say that they struggled with this at the beginning of the year and then they finally figured out how to make it work. And now they want to go and get more. And I'm like, really? Do I need to reevaluate this? But right now it was definitely one of the first things that came to mind as in products that I did not like that I tried this year. And it's from L'Oreal. This is their matte lip crayon. I have the shade Little Chili. Now I do like that it is, since it's a really pigmented shade and it's a matte lipstick, they give it to you in a really slimline packaging. I do like that it's kind of more like a watermelon red. I like that a lot. But the problem I have is that it does the same thing to me that this lip paint does from Fenty. It's too dry. And pretty soon my lips start to flake and you can see the color lifting off. Now, I think it's a really pretty color. I really want to love this lipstick. And it may be the recommendation I had from my viewer was really light layer. Do not continue to apply. So I might try it again. But this was the first lip product of the year that was like, I don't like you. I love the shade. I really wanted to wear this. It just, my lips got too dry. So there you go. Remember, all of this comes down to preference. What works for me, what may or may not work for you. A lot of it depends on how you use it. But these were my duds for this year. There were other products that weren't amazing, but these are the ones that I was like, seriously, like, I didn't like them. I really didn't like them, or they let me down, or I had expectations that were unfulfilled. And these are those products. I would love to know what products you tried this year that just didn't work for you. It could be because the formula wasn't what you prefer. It could be because the color was wrong. It could be any reason at all. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an amazing day. I will see you again soon.